Welcome to Driven, the Unscripted Success podcast, with your hosts, Mike Menino and Nariman Hamden, bringing you insights and stories on achieving personal, professional, and financial success.
Hi, this is Michael Menino with Driven, Unscripted Podcast, where we talk to professionals and financial successful people about what they did to get there and how they got there. What we're going to do today is Tim Meister, zooming in from the beautiful warm weather of Naples, right?
Yes, sir.
From Iowa, and him and his family have been selling flooring for his dad's been doing it for 20 years in Iowa, right? And then you get guys decided to come to Florida and dig in roots and knock it out of the park, huh?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, Tim, do me a favor. Tell me a little bit about your journey.
I grew up in Iowa, graduated high school, went to college in North Carolina. After I graduated from college, I moved to Naples to retire, just working on the retirement bit now. Worked in banks for about 10 years, doing all sorts of things. Did a 1.5-year stint running a commercial property management company here in Naples, which was a great learning experience to see how commercial real estate works. And then Dad and Mom decided we should open a flooring store, since that's what he was doing, because he was kind of bored. And 10.5 years later, that's where we're at now.
Awesome. What's the name of the store?
Floor Meisters.
Floor Meisters. That's great. Dude, that is a great hook. I got to admit, that is probably one of the greatest named hooks I've ever heard in my life. That's awesome. I like how you pulled yourself out of retirement to get to work. And I do something similar in multifamily, so I can talk to you later on about that. But a lot of, in the flooring industry, we even talked about this off camera. There's a lot of competition in what you do. What is the one thing that you guys do that sets you apart? That you do that other ones, besides the great name. I mean, the great name knocks it out of the park.
Thank you.
It really does.
We primarily focus on medium to high end products. We stay away from the lower end products because everything in your house goes on it. So when a customer comes in, you have to educate them on the difference between a mid-range product and the less expensive stuff. Knowing that, wife, kids, dogs are all going to be on your floor. So you have to make sure you put in a proper product for the case you're putting it in for. And then from there, we just stay in our lane. We know what we're good at. There's things that we're not set up to do. So when that avenue comes around, we just nicely pass on it and we just stay in our lane. And that's been our success for 10.5 years here.
Awesome. So you uninvite customers. I hate to say it like that, but you uninvite customers because you just don't have the product that they're looking for.
Product, and sometimes they're asking for stuff that they want your installers to do, nights, weekends. We're not set up for that. I've got enough going on Monday through Friday. I don't need a phone call at 2 a.m. saying we're short on material.
Right. You can always order more.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, see, I do that too. We do multifamily and we do nice ones. We don't buy the garbage ones and fix them up. Those are problematic. And then we need cheap flooring, and then the cheap flooring doesn't last long. The tenants destroy the flooring. So I know
Correct.
exactly what you're talking about. If someone's listening to the podcast, and they want to get better at what you're doing, what would you suggest and what tips would you give them?
One, listen to everyone,
Yeah, that's a good one.
but don't take everyone's advice. So
That's a nice caveat to that. Listen to everyone, but don't take everybody's advice.
Everyone will tell you how to run your business.
They will.
But knowing the right people that you should listen to, and then also praying about it to make sure that you are doing the proper thing. That's
I
really been the big driving success here.
Well, you put God first, it's hard to fail.
Correct.
I've experienced that many times. Every time I start a business, I give it to God, and then when I forget, the business run horrible, things don't
Yep.
work out. Then I give it to Him, and it just all straightens out. And it's like,
Yes, it
oh,
does.
I always forget. I always forget every time. I only did about 5 or 6 businesses, but every time I start one and it doesn't, He's not involved. I guarantee it's tough. It's not impossible. It's just tough.
Correct.
I feel bad for the people that don't have Him and try and get along without it.
I agree 100%.
Well, you sound like you had a really cool, crazy life. You've been in Iowa and North Carolina. I just moved to South Carolina. Love it out here. What is the biggest challenge you've had out of your entire career, everything you've done?
Well, every year it seems like there's something new that comes up. We started the store, obviously, the first couple years, you're running into all kinds of fun things, trying to figure out a new store. Then we had Hurricane Irma in 2017, so that brought on something new. Medical issues that have come by over the last 10 years. Then you had COVID in 2020, product issues 2021, more product issues in 2022. Then you've got uh, tariffs constantly coming and going, port strikes. So always trying to think about what you need to do to keep your business viable, whether it be not buying or buying knowing you might not have it in 6 months. So knowing that you're going to have to take some cash out of your pocket to make sure you got the supplies for 6 months from now. So it's
So
been fun.
buying right, buying at the right time, buying the right product, and buying the right amount. So buying is important.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, because what would happen if you had an empty store? And I don't know what happened during COVID after that, but we fixing up apartment complexes. We had a hard time getting
Yeah.
material.
During the 2021 year, it was really hard to find buckets to put glue in for wood floors. So I was keeping up with it, and then it was going to be like a month. Well, I was almost out. The product came into my distributor. I called them up. I said, listen, I need 5 pallets of glue. They said, TJ, I can give you 2. I said, I need 5 pallets of glue, and I'll hand you a check to the driver right when he shows up. The rep says, I don't know if I can do that. I'm like, ask your boss. He calls me back 5 minutes later. He says, 5 pallets of glue. It's 20,000. I'm like, I'll have the check ready. Because if they don't have any product, they can't make money. And when you're willing to take your money, put it back into their pocket quicker to get what you need, it served everyone well.
Nice. Very nice. Oh, that's beautiful. That's really good. That's, you're not paying any more for the product. You're just paying
Nope.
on time.
Correct.
What's a usual time frame that people pay on something like that? 20,000 of glue.
Well, most everybody gives you like 30-day terms. So you get the
Gotcha.
product in, you got to pay it off in a month. So, $20,000 of glue, that company's going to wait on 20 grand. Well, if they don't have any product to sell, they still got bills to pay. Well, I'm willing to give you the 20 grand as soon as you drop off the 5 pallets.
That is a genius move. That is beyond a genius move. I like that. You're not paying any more for the product. You're just getting and I'm sure you probably killed it because you were one of the few people that had the glue.
Yep.
Right? So now you're in a better position. You didn't pay a dime extra. That's
Yep.
awesome. I like that.
So you're fulfilling your needs, but
Right.
you're also growing your customer base because Jim comes in and he needs this product. Well, their normal vendor doesn't have it. Now he comes to me because I do have it. Well, he's probably going to come back to me after that because I've always got it. I'm not going to take his money and then call him up when he needs it and say, I'm sorry, it's on back order.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, yeah. Being fair with your suppliers is always the best business ever. Sounds like things are going pretty well for you out there, and looking forward to the future. When do what we try and concentrate with this podcast is, you're going to make money, and then we're going to try and get it into passive income. What are you going to do with your money? So what do you like to do with your money when you make some?
Well, about 15 years ago, we did a Dave Ramsey class at the church, Financial Peace, and it got my wife and I on the same train. So we've recently paid everything off. So
Good
I
man.
don't wake up in the morning wondering, the mortgage is getting paid. So that's awfully nice. And now that that's done, I also have 4 kids. One's getting married here in about 8 months. So there's some of the money. But
Is
yeah,
it a boy or
looking,
girl? Because the boys are cheaper than the girls.
yeah, it's a boy, but you got to know my wife. So yeah, looking down the road to second home / renting them out to help pay for it. And, also putting the money away down the road, growing the store some more, maybe opening a second location one day. So always looking for something to do with the money to both grow the business, but also have it so I can retire one day.
Gotcha. Well, awesome. I think you kind of answered the next question pretty much. It's we're going to wrap up the interview, and wanted to talk to you about what you're going to be doing for the next 6 to 12 months. So basically, you're going to might even be opening another store, right?
Yeah, we've thought heavily about it. The business here, we have 1 location now. We've done way more than we ever thought we would, and it is still continuously growing. So we've perused other areas to branch out in, not too far that I can't get there to help manage it, but not close enough where you're kind of just taking your own customer base and making them go to a different location. The getting into some sort of passive income is definitely something the wife and I have talked about. Obviously, with the interest rate environment, you kind of look at it and kind of like, okay. And so that's on the front burner, really. It's, something we're definitely looking at. So
Okay.
that's going to be in the next 6 months.
Gotcha. Well, after the wedding.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, listen, I can't thank you enough. That was great. I'm sure that anybody that's listening to this is going to get a little bit of value out of it. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for sharing your time and insights with us. Really appreciate it. And guys, if you could tell everybody about how to get in contact with you and maybe the store, where it's at, and the phone numbers.
Sure. Floor Meisters in Naples, Florida. We're located right next to Costco. So you can come over and get your paper towels and pick out some floor. The website is Floor Meisters. There's 3 of us, so pluralize it.com. And the phone number is 239-596-4964.
Awesome. Thank you very much, TJ Meister. I really appreciate your time here, and thank you again. Really appreciate it. I want to let everybody know, if you need to get in contact, we need some flooring near the Naples area, please contact TJ. He's awesome. All right. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Michael.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Driven, the Unscripted Success Podcast. Want to share your story? Apply to be a guest at drivensuccesspodcast.com/guest.